XRP holders, welcome back. Let's get into this article where we look into kind of the thought if XRP is able to capture just 25% of the $10 trillion that lies within the cross-border liquidity that we are seeing held by banks and institutions. All right, so this is a very interesting discussion. Hope you guys all stay around to the end of this video. Also, I hope all you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mark, for those of you that do not know. Let's talk some crypto, okay? So let's get into it. For those of you that are new here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us. We have been grinding out XRP basically before the SEC litigation, and as it looks today, we'll talk about some of the numbers, look at XRP, what we're doing on the charts today, and let's get down into it, okay? So we're going to dive into this article. We'll talk about it. I'll give you guys my thoughts as we get this video discussion going. But first, let's look at the crypto bubbles here for the top 100. A little bit of a rebound here in the top 100 as we look at XRP, still fourth in market cap. Down now at $2.16, right? So it's essentially just a fraction up on the day. We are down 1% on the week. And as we look at the month of June, okay, the last 30 days, basically falling 12% almost. So it's been one where it's been kind of a rocky road. And like I tell you guys continuously, that's not financial advice. I'll never tell you to buy or sell crypto. But anytime XRP dips below or gets close to $2, that's when I'm looking to acquire it. For me, guys, in my personal investment strategy, XRP is just too cheap at these levels to not get involved. Okay, so that's how I feel about it. Let's get into this discussion as we look at this article. But first, guys, if you are looking for a new exchange and you want to start trading, check out BTCC. I talk about them frequently. There is a link down below in the description. So spot and leverage trading, both can be done on this platform. 10% bonus on your first time deposit, up to 40% lower trading fees. You won't find that anywhere as it relates to kind of what exchanges can offer for signing up. Also, no VPN or KYC necessary. Make sure you understand the terms and conditions and do your research and due diligence. But if you want to start trading on BTCC, that link is down below, okay? So as we talk about it even more so, this is kind of what we're looking at. For the XRP price, if it can capture 25% of the 10 trillion held in cross-border liquidity by banks and institutions, okay? That's been the big driving narrative here, is what can be brought in for XRP. Now, as we've struggled to kind of break out from a price perspective, right? There's been a lot of market setbacks. We've talked about kind of all of these macro issues, right? And now we have more bombs going off. We have the trade deals kind of resuming talks. It's something where you look at kind of what we've been faced with, right? In a market where Bitcoin was pressing all-time highs, 112,000, and now it looks like XRP is just kind of stuck trading sideways, which isn't that necessarily a bad thing, okay? I'll show you guys kind of what I'm looking at within the trading view as we get down a little deeper into this conversation. And like I talked about, pretty much dating back to the month of February, without the hiccups of a few dips and valleys and a couple little bit of outlier pumps that we have seen, XRP has been trading sideways pretty much in between that $2.15 all the way up to $2 and the better part of $2.35. So that 215 to 235, we've kind of just been trading sideways in that. We have just flashed momentum down here on my trading indicator. You can see kind of on your screen what we're looking at, as we do have a lot of negative selling pressure pretty much since May 14th, as we have continued this little trek downwards into the red. So please keep that in mind. Like I said, guys, I'm not looking to swing trade XRP. This is a long-term hold for me as we talk the outlook and kind of what we're looking at as the price of XRP is dipped below all of the moving averages. We're looking for that bounce back spot. And I think that right now, as we look at kind of what the overall narrative is within crypto, we just are so reactionary to whatever happens from a macro standpoint that as we look at XRP trading at $2.15, that's not the real world value, in my opinion, for XRP. So please keep that in mind as XRP looks to continue trading on a discount, okay? So as we get back into the article and what I wanted to break down, this is the potential that we're looking at, okay? As we look to US, China, and Japan and the European Union, they hold together 83.37 trillion, okay, in M2. However, it's important that not all of the money is used in the form of cross-border payments, okay, and used across borders. But historical data from the Bank for International Settlements we can kind of narrow down that number. Okay, 10 to 15% of the global M2 are used as cross-border reserves and claims. That means that the actual cross-border liquidity likely sits between $8 trillion and $12 trillion, with an average being around 10 trillion. Okay. Now, as we look at kind of what XRP's potential price could be if we do capture a considerable portion of this, and for the sake of this argument, we are going to use the 25% figure, okay? And that's where we saw XRP trading at $2.23 for the sake of this discussion, with a circulating supply of 58.82 billion tokens. All right. So if we do have a 25% capturing of that 10 trillion cross-border liquidity, okay, that would be 2.5 trillion in value. And you can kind of see where we're at from a basically an estimation standpoint. If they do handle 2.5 trillion of this cross-border liquidity, all right, how much XRP value must be there for this to support 2.5 trillion in cross-border liquidity? Okay, so if you want to use this is the full capture model with a one-to-one backing. You look at XRP directly backing the value it transfers. The total we would need would be 2.5 trillion, estimated at a XRP price perspective at $42.50. Okay, so super bullish. Kind of goes alongside of what people are looking at, and kind of understanding that the tokenomics and the way that the supply, the way that the price of XRP is not fully evident, and it's not something that where you can just see looking at kind of what we're looking at with the daily transaction volumes like we would with normal crypto. The valuation of XRP goes a little bit deeper than that if you do want to truly get down into it, but as long as the liquidity does back it up, that would bring XRP's price to roughly $42.50. And that's something where you have to match that. If you do have a one-to-one reserve model, the market value would have to match what XRP is trading at. And that's kind of where you're looking to how you could see XRP just absolutely blossom to this, as we would go into the second model, which is the velocity adjusted model. Okay, that's if XRP is reused. So if you keep reusing XRP, this is something where you don't have to actually have the 2.5 trillion at once. And then if you look at this formula and kind of looking at it being reused 5 times per year, this would bring XRP's price to probably more so in line with what I'm at within a price prediction for 2025. It would be in that $8 to $10 ballpark, and this would be $8.50 if you use the velocity adjusted estimate. So that's pretty much spot on where I'm at. Okay, so leave a comment down below. Do you guys agree with this? What's your thoughts on this? All right. But even if we had the velocity reaching 10, the price would fall to around $4.25. Means that XRP is reused more, and that you would need less liquidity actually being possessed. Okay, and then subsequently, if you do kind of make that a 2 times per year velocity, where you do reuse XRP only 2 instead of 4 or 10, that's where XRP's price would be. You would need more liquidity, and that would boom it up to $21.25. So that's basically where you can see this in terms of the velocity model with the estimated price. It alleviates the concern that you would need all of that XRP liquidity. And then you can see the respective price predictions here according to these models, where you would see no reusing, $42.50. If we reuse it twice, $21.25. 5 times would be $8.50. And then the fourth scenario, if we do reuse XRP 10 times within these cross-border settlements, it would leave an estimated price at $4.25 if we capture 25% of the kind of global, $10 trillion in cross-border settlements. So that's where we're at. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Leave a comment with your thoughts down below. As always, I want to know kind of your reaction to this discussion, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. Give me a couple minutes of your time. Enjoy the weekend. Happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there that do celebrate that holiday. And we'll see you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers.